Hello! Happy Thursday, y'all. I am Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, as you probably already know if you're watching with me live at my Facebook page. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being here. And if you're watching live, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you, whether you watch the replay or join me live. But I do love having somebody to chat with live. If you are here live with me, how many times can I say that one word in 1 minute? It looks like a lot. So if you are here, just remember I can't see you. Like I can't, on my screen it doesn't show me if you're here or not unless you say hello. So go ahead and say hello in the comments. And if you're watching from someplace other than Texas, let me know. So usually whenever I start these videos, for some reason unknown to me, I just think probably because the weather was changing so much when I first started doing these videos, I always talk about the weather. So today is sunny and gorgeous, but y'all, this weekend it got up to, I think, 94 already. We're still in March. I'm a little concerned. It's been hot, it's been dry. We're not getting a lot of rain. We did get a little bit, but there's so many fires all around. So just be thinking about those people that are dealing with that. Thankfully, we haven't had it too close, but we have had some friends that it's gotten pretty close to their houses. So just be praying for them, y'all. All right, so hope you're doing well. I hope that your weather is nice. I really love sunshine and blue skies. It's my favorite thing, and that's what we've had all day today. I keep glancing out my window. Thankfully, I've got one in front of me and one beside me, and behind. Like there's windows all around up here. So we designed it that way on purpose because I love sunshine. So, all right, that's enough. I've rambled for 2 minutes. Tonight I have a lot to go over. The last chance sale is still going on. It's only been a little over a week and things are already selling out, and it's not the things that we expected to sell out. So we thought, and by we, this is me and some fellow demonstrators that I've been talking to, we all thought that the in colors would sell out very quickly, and some of the refills are starting to sell out. But we still have the cardstock, and we still have plenty of designer series paper, which is what usually goes first. But this time, it's been stamp sets that are selling out. Like, lickety split. It is crazy how fast they're selling out. So, we have that happening. And this is my last chance list, y'all. So, this pink color, these are sold out. These are gone. And the ones in yellow are already in low inventory. So I had, look, isn't that crazy? That is just mind-blowing in 1 week. So, but look, it's towards the end here, this is all the DSP and embellishments and dies. This is the Prince and Princess photopolymer stamp set. It's selling out, or not selling out, it's in low inventory. So that's something to be aware of. So this is, I'm going to show you, I have 3 of my favorite stamp sets here, and what I'm going to do is just go through and show you some cards that I've made with each of these stamp sets. These are all on the last chance list, and they are all on the low inventory list. So I was going to make more cards with these to share with you over the next couple of weeks, but I'm afraid that they're going to sell out before I can do that. A couple of the ones I had planned on creating with this week have already sold out. So I won't be showing you those. But this first one is Free as a Bird. I actually bought this one with my mom in mind, and I have made several cards for her with this. But these are just some of the ones that I have on hand that I have made over the last year or two. Whoops, that one's upside down. And some of them are going to be more complicated than others, but most of them are pretty simple. The fun thing about this set is just coloring these birds. And I've used all different kinds of things to color them with. I like blends. but I like the water painters, and I like just the watercolor pencils and blending pens as well. That's what I did on this one. Isn't that pretty? And this one, I think this is my favorite. This is, it looks like designer series paper, but it's not. I just stamped and colored with blends to make that background. Okay, the next one is Sunny Sentiments. I love this stamp set. And the great thing about this, I lost a flower. The great thing about this stamp set is it goes with anything. You can, I used it here with, this is retired designer series paper, and a little dragonfly from the Dragonfly Punch. Of course, the fun penguins, the butterflies, more dragonflies. And there's the little ladybug embellishments. Here's a small slim card made with it, and I just stamped some like confetti like stamps on the background here, and then embossed it with some of the metallic embossing powder. This one's real recent. That's the hand pinned, I think, DSP is what that is, and it's on the retiring list also. And to do that one, I just used the white craft ink and stamped just the hello. Oops, there's the envelope. And then this is one of my favorites with this. This is some retired DSP that I colored with Stampin' Blends. And it just so happens that the technique that I'm using tonight is how to do this with rubber stamps, how to get two different colors from one stamp. It's probably the first technique I learned, and it's my favorite. Okay, and this is quite possibly my favorite stamp set that's retiring. I love this one. And you're going to be able to tell it because I have quite a few cards here made with this stamp set. So sometimes I do, you know, the whole thing. Stamps, punches, everything. Sometimes just the punch. This one is real simple. This one is one of my favorites. It's a mini slimline card. And this is the glimmer paper. And then the happy birthday was stamped in Versamark and then heat embossed with black embossing powder. This is another favorite. This is a card from the catalog, and it's on one of our little note cards, and it's a shaker card. So there's simple version, and this one is stamped up just a little bit. That one was real easy. So you can add all kinds of designer series paper. This is the painted texture embossing folder on this. I think this is Fresh Freesia cardstock. I didn't use the popsicles very much. I liked doing the punch, which was the ice cream cone. But this happy birthday, very rarely did I stamp that without fussy cutting around it. This one's fun. I used the Crystal Effects, which are also retiring on that top ice cream. So that's what gives it the glossy look. And then I have a couple of thank you cards left that I created with this, and just some pretty designer series paper. And then I have several tags, and the acrylic box that these tags are in is also retiring. So these are so handy to have on hand for many different reasons, but I liked this. So the insert is something I made out of cardstock, and I do have a video showing how to do that and how to make the tags. Alright, so the last thing that I want to show you before we start making our card today, this is very exciting. I can't show you the inside yet, but I can show you the cover. This is our annual catalog for 2022 to 2023. Isn't that gorgeous? I am so excited about this catalog. There's lots of fabulous stuff inside of it. And I have my first stamp set. It is called Limited Edition. And it just came in the mail as well. Isn't this cool? So you may or may not know that if you create items to sell with Stampin' Up product, then you have to have somewhere on your project this Stampin' Up copyright label on it somewhere. So this stamp set fulfills that requirement. And you can use just this stamp, or you can use one of these that also include that, or you can use one of these and then add that stamp set under it. So this one is going to make super cute. They all have it except for these two, and these two you can add it. But this is going to be some really cute cards. I can't wait to use this, and of course I'll use it all the time on the back of my cards. Okay. So now that we've gotten through with all of the updates and looking at some of these stamp sets that are on low inventory, let's go ahead and make a card. Tasteful Touches is another stamp set that is on the last chance list. And I have just a pretty simple card to make with this one today. So we're going to be using the gray granite card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4 inches. It's the size that I use most often. And I'm just going to take this little squares and I'm going to stamp them. I'm going to turn it, I think, and stamp them along the bottom here. And you don't have to get it lined up perfectly because the squares are not even lined up perfectly. Just do your best and kind of stagger them along there. And I'm going to do one corner, and then I'm going to do the opposite corner. Oh, that was real off. I think that's plenty. I was going to add another one, but it doesn't need it. Okay, so here's where the technique part of this comes in. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up markers to color my flower. And you always want to start with your lightest color and work up to your darkest color. So I'm just going to go over that. And then I'm going to use this. So that was Crushed Curry, and this is Night of Navy. I want to go right up. I'm even going over the Crushed Curry, the edges, just a little bit. Like I said, this is the first technique that I learned, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So much so that almost 20 years later, and I'm still using it. So make sure that if you do this, you're using your Stampin' Up markers. Do not use alcohol alcohol blends. That will not work, and it wouldn't be a happy thing for your stamps. So Stampin' Up markers are the way to go for this technique. Usually when I stamp this stamp, I just stamp it all in one color, but I got to thinking yesterday, what would happen if I used my markers on it? And I really like the way it turned out. I think the hardest part of this is deciding which colors to use. Okay, so somewhere, here we go. Got so many stamps on my desk, I lost my scrap. So what I'm doing now is we call it huffing. I'm huffing on my stamp. I'm just breathing on it. And that remoistens any ink that has dried up while I'm coloring all the other things. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So now what I would do is take my paper snips and snip around that. So let's do that real fast. Ta-da! All done with that. So this is a piece of crushed curry because it matches my marker. And it's cut 3 3/4 of an inch by 1 inch. And I'm going to use my punch here. This is my Banner's Pick-a-Punch, and this is getting to be my most used punch. I love this thing. It makes 2 different banner ends, so you got to make sure you're putting it in the right one. And I always turn it upside down so I can make sure that I'm centered up correctly. And that might be a little long. So I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off of that real quick. So just make it 3.5 inches. I got carried away. And then punch. Okay. Better to have it too long than too short. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color on another stamp. This is just saying hello, and I just want to say hello. I don't want the rest of that. So I am taking the Night of Navy marker again, and I'm just going over it really quickly. There we go. Then I'm just going to stamp it right here in the corner. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm just going to glue these layers together. Lisa, how has your day been? Me too. I can't believe this one's retiring. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's been around for a little bit, but it's kind of sad to say goodbye. So I used the flower to get a... Oh no, I hate that you're not home yet. Use the flower to get an idea of where I'm putting my banner because I don't want it too close to the edge, but also don't want it too far away. I'm going to put it right there. Then I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals to put on the back of my flower, and I'm just putting them right on the center. There we go. And that's our card. It does not take much time at all. I am going to go ahead and, whoops, not that. On the inside, I'm going to add just 2 more stamps of this little square background piece. Just going to put it down here in the corner. There we go. And I think I grabbed a big piece of paper and I've already put glue all over it. So, nope, I didn't. I grabbed the right size. I keep 2 different sizes of basic white cut and ready to go. right here on my desk, and sometimes I grab the big size instead of the smaller size. So this is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and it's just right. Okay, and that's all I have for you guys today. And if you have any questions, if you're watching the replay, hit #replay for me. Let me know. And if you have any questions, just put those in the comments and I'll see them and answer them. Alright, I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. I hope you are enjoying your weather wherever you're at and that you get time to stamp. Happy stamping!